W 2014 roku papież Franciszek przyjechał do Caserty, do Kościoła Zielonoświątkowego, aby tam wyznać grzechy i przeprosić tamtejszy kościół za grzechy, które katolicy wyrządzili zielonoświątkowcom w latach 40. za rządów Mussoliniego. Pastorem tego kościoła jest pastor Giovanni Traettino. Wyjątkowa postać, przyjaciel papieża Franciszka i jednocześnie osoba, która jest wybitnym autorytetem w tej przestrzeni budowania jedności, pokoju i pojednania. I na rozmowę z nim chciałbym Cię serdecznie zaprosić.
Siejemy, pomnażamy, jednoczymy. Fundacja Służąc Życiu. Jesteś pastorem służącym na rzecz pojednania chrześcijan. Jak zaczęła się ta droga?
Yeah, it's true. I am very committed into the reconciliation ministry. It has not always been like this. In fact, there's been a season in the first part of my ministry when I was younger, when I was quite anti-ecumenism. But then the situation came via a series of experiences with the Lord. The beginning was when I got baptized in the Holy Spirit, and the experience that I had with God enlarged my vision, my understanding, and from that time on, a series of situations helped me to come into this walk, into this path. Now, with the Catholic Church, yes, but especially I believe because I am in Italy, and obviously the influence and the importance of Catholic Church is quite big, traditionally, historically, but certainly my openness has to do with all Christian expressions of faith.
Wiemy, że przyjaźnisz się z papieżem Franciszkiem. Czy możesz powiedzieć parę słów o waszej relacji? Jak wpływa ona na Twoje relacje w środowisku zielonoświątkowym?
Yes, it is true. We are friends with Pope Francis. It all began in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, in 2006, when I was invited as a speaker into one conference similar to the one we are having these days here in Warsaw. And it started when we first met at this meeting. There was an immediate feeling between us, and I sensed that the man was a man of God, and that what was in him was a lot more than what he was expressing at the moment, being the Archbishop of Buenos Aires. So that was the beginning. No, I have never had to hide my friendship with Pope Francis, even if that has meant some challenges, some difficulties, especially with my brothers, with my evangelical Pentecostal brothers.
Czego Kościół Zielonoświątkowy może uczyć się od katolików, a czego katolicy mogą uczyć się od was?
Well, I believe that the young churches, young expressions of church can learn from the Catholic, the Roman Church, and from the other historical churches, the importance, of certain aspect of tradition. We can learn to go back to the fathers, for example, and a series of other very good things. I believe the younger churches, so the Pentecostal and the other churches, can give the contribution of a life in the faith which is more linked with the conversion, with personal experience, with the encounter with God, with the experience of the Holy Spirit, how it is important to be born again, how it is important to have a personal experience of the Holy Spirit. So I believe the foundational truths can be discovered in the relationship, in the dialogue with the new churches, and where I mean also the Pentecostal, etc.
Chciałbym nauczyć się budować mosty jedności w moim środowisku. Czym powinienem się kierować?
Well, I believe in my opinion, first of all, to discover the radical truth about ecumenism that has to do with the word in Greek, which is oikos, house. I think everything becomes easier if every one of us has an experience of God, and his life becomes the oikos, the house of God. So if we are a temple of God, if God is in us, and we have become the temple of the Holy Spirit, starting from that truth, which is very foundational, Don't you know, says the Apostle Paul, that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit? So if we dialogue between temples, I'm using metaphors, on that basis, so I would say it is a foundational ecumenism, okay? So at the root level, starting from Christ, from our experience of Christ, because in the measure in which we are part of the body, each one is drinking from the same Spirit, each one is being saved with the same blood, as an experience of Christ, as an experience of the Holy Spirit, as an experience of the Father. We can dialogue, we can relate, we can become friends, we can walk together, be out of the revelation and out of the experience that we have of God. So this is the best way to build bridges, I believe, starting from our relationship with God. Because in the measure in which we have a relationship with God, and I have a relationship with God, being an evangelical, a Protestant, and you have an experience with God, being a Catholic, we can relate on the basis of our similar or common experience. This is the best way. And when it comes to my friendship with the Holy Father, with Pope Francis, I believe that this is the beginning of our relationship, because I perceived that in the man, in Pope Francis, there was a real experience of God. I realized that he was in touch with God. So because he was in touch with God, I sense in my spirit, I believe, by the witness of the Holy Spirit, that he was there, and I knew that the Holy Spirit was in me. And this was the basis upon which it all started.
Cieszę się, że miałeś okazję usłyszeć to krótkie przesłanie. Wierzę, że tego typu wiadomości, tego typu słowa przyczyniają się do budowania kultury honorowania, szacunku i jedności, o którą zabiegał nasz Pan, Jezus Chrystus. Jeśli chcesz, udostępnij to nagranie, podziel się z innymi, abyśmy mogli tworzyć tego typu kulturę w Polsce.